does sound so much better when you let it run.
And there it is. Welcome to the Deeks and Bacca show. That's like a very unrehearsed introduction, but I like that music, and we don't get charged for it, so it's great.
Yeah, free stuff. We'll take free stuff any day.
Royalty free, man. We don't owe you nothing. We don't owe you nothing. That's how we do. How you doing, buddy? It's been way too long. We've
far too long.
We've tried to get this up and running, but I mean, you had like no car for like 2 weeks or a week and a half.
Yeah, the engine literally blew in my car, which I haven't even paid off yet. It's only 7 years old. So
wonderful.
I was living at my work. Okay. Like, you know how going to work sucks? Well, living at your work, like a step beyond.
Yeah, that's something else.
So yeah, that's why we were on hiatus. Very sorry. My bad. Didn't take care of my car well enough. But we're juiced back in now. So let's get the content rolling.
Let's do just that, my friend. Okay. So hopping right into it now. You're still mid-season with these guys, by the way. Our team, the Rink Rats.
Yes. Look at that jersey. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, Nolan Morosky, shout out, because
who wears 23 though?
Bob Gainey did wear 23. It's retired in the Bell Center now.
Is that your guy? Is that why?
Not even, no. Just like my birthday is the 23rd, and loved Michael Jordan growing up.
Nice.
And
I didn't
then
even
Jim
think
Carrey.
about Jordan.
Yeah, I was a huge basketball fan growing up because I was able to watch Jordan while he played, like in that era when everybody was playing. And then Jim Carrey even came out with the movie The Number 23. So I was like, all right, like if there's any more signs that this is my number.
Did he play a bad guy in that movie?
Yeah, he kind of played both. Like it was like a dual, like he had like a two character thing going. So
yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
but
a good movie.
It was decent. Like it was different. Like it was like a thriller suspense sort of deal. But it was just nice to pick this number because like it made sense for me and all that stuff. But I have my own reasons because it's more of a basketball number a lot of times. But I've stuck with it for hockey. I've tried to change it. You know, I like 79 because of Markov. He's my favorite player of all time. But just kind of stuck with 23. I don't know. Like even when we were getting these jerseys, I had to like make sure, okay, I'm going to stick with it. So
yeah, I don't see you at 79.
No, I like it's just I have Markov's jersey, so like that's I like the number, but yeah. Anyway,
mine's the same thing. It's kind of a birthday thing. 11/11.
Yeah, exactly. November 11th.
Yeah, and then 83. 8 + 3 is 11. So I don't know. Let the conspiracy theorists get a hold of that one for
you. Oh, they're out there.
Oh yeah,
they're out there. The truth is out there.
It is. Wait a minute. I was trying to think of what the theme song was for
X-Files.
For X-Files. Yeah. I was going to start singing and I don't even remember what it is. Yeah.
All I can think of when I think of X-Files is that Simpsons episode when Mr. Burns is that guy. He's like, I bring you love.
It's bringing love. Don't let it get away. Break its legs. I remember that.
So good. Well, none of that's hockey related, but that's okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Because we
haven't talked in a while.
We haven't like conversed in ages, so can't blame us. But a few things we're going to talk about. So really, it's just 3 or 4 on this show tonight. So locally here in Niagara, the rink that we've called home for about 10 years has closed. It's been torn apart already. The Ball Hockey Athletic Center is what the BAC stands for. Sad news because, of course, we have had many memories in there. So we're going to talk about this to start the show off. We're also going to jump into, of course, so much has happened in the hockey world, by the way, including women winning gold in Beijing, the Canadian women, right? Yes. So just love them. They're amazing. And Leafs, Wings, and high-scoring games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun times.
17 goals later, we have to talk about them. And then we're going to...
Only tied the record.
Only tied it. Yeah, there you go. So more Leafs talk at the end. So all you Leaf fans can, eat that up because you wanna. You want. Anyway, Pitbull. Okay, so
I don't know that one.
I don't even know. I think I made part of that up. It's anyway. But that's why we do this. So in terms of memories that come to mind when I think of the Ball Hockey Athletic Center, this is the number one for us as the Rink Rats. Now you were like climbing like Mount Yosemite or something when this happened, but But this is us, man. You were there this night. You were there in
I
the crowd
was.
filming the winning goal, where it was like 5 years in the making. The Rink Rats, our team, won our first championship. That's our first and only championship so far. Is at this rink.
Yeah, and that was the one season in 5 years I didn't play, and then you guys took
What
it
does
down.
that tell you?
Yeah, exactly right. There's just clear leadership there. Yeah, no, I had taken the summer off because I was doing the John Muir Trail, which is a month in the wilderness, which I really needed to make sure I was not injured for because it was one of my bucket list items. So I took it off and I watched you guys take it down, and even though I wasn't a part of it on that level, so proud of you guys.
You were though. You were.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why though. I want to tell you why, because our Facebook group, you post like these pep talks, in our Facebook group on video, and it actually got to me the one time because I remember a couple teams, like, they get to you, right, mentally, like teams are chirping you, and you came in and addressed the leadership group, and I was part of that along with Nolan and some others. And I took it to heart what you said. So I actually applied that. I genuinely applied that to how we went on our run. And then it worked. Like, our team was in the finals and we were in disarray. Like, we almost didn't even get a chance to play for the championship because we were just fighting with each other.
Yeah.
And,
I remember I coached a couple games there in that second round, and
we needed it.
Pulled it back together a little bit. You're right. And you know what? I do take a little bit of credit because I've just being captaining the team for so many years. I got to see a lot of these players that started off not great really grow. And, I personally coached a lot of players on the team, for situations and how to handle things and how to improve even our attitudes and our willingness and our heart to win. So I was so proud of you guys when you took it down without me on the rink. I mean, that's even just one better for you guys. So it was very impressive to watch, especially coming back from 3-0 down in that final game there and then winning it in overtime. Jay, the franchise to pros with the most amazing overtime goal, gets blocked 3 times. Shot, block, wheels around, shoots again, goes in the far corner, and you guys erupted, and it was fantastic. I was sitting on the bleachers, and that's like, there may have been tears. So
really,
it was I was so proud of you guys. And just so you guys know, like, for people watching who don't know ball hockey, it's 5 years, but there's 4 seasons a year, and we play year round. So that's like 20 seasons of hockey before winning a championship. And, that gets to you, especially some of those guys that have been with the squad since the start. It's tough to lose 20 times in a row and then take it down and win, so I was really proud of you guys.
It's funny because, like, it's the only competitive sport that I really play at all. Over the last 10, 12, 13, whatever it is, years. And
coming back from spring, right?
Oh, me? Yeah, I'm in. Like, I'm wearing this because I'm pumped to come back.
Nice.
Me and Kevin are
my
brother-in-law play on.
Oh, Kevin's coming back too?
Yeah, we've talked. He's signed, man. I already threw the extension out, and he's signed, and
nice.
He agreed to the terms. He's in. So
he's playing for league minimum, right?
Well, I think he deserves a raise based on how
he does. He deserves to be our $11 million player. How well that guy plays. Like, that's a great example. Is Kevin. Like, he started out really feisty. He's always been a great checker. He's always been fast and in the corners, and he never stops running. And that was great. But I watched him build his game into somebody with some sweet hands and some goal scoring. He won a scoring title for us one year.
I know.
One season. It's just like fantastic to watch a guy like that go from, a grindy type player and really develop his game into being, like, so versatile out there. You can count on him defense, offense, everything now.
He just doesn't stop running. And I think in the championship final, he had the same line every game with Cody and Willie, and they were unstoppable.
Oh,
like those 3 were great, and they were constantly producing. So
Cody's got really slick hands.
Yeah, Cody's just he's an X factor out there. So
totally. Should have seen him tonight. He was on a bit of a breakaway missing streak, so I think he missed like 9 breakaways in a row this season.
Really? That's pretty rare.
We were playing playoffs tonight, and he finally got one on a breakaway early in the game. So it was nice for him. You can see the confidence come back.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But let's talk a little bit, V, about this rink for a second. I mean, you have memories in here too. This is a great shot. I'm pretty sure that's Barnesy at the bottom there.
Probably. It looks like him. I'm pretty sure
he's there.
Pretty sure he's going to get torn down with the place. I thought he lived in the rafters for years. I thought he was like Phantom of the Opera, the ref up there making calls.
Brian Barnes is the heart and soul of that staff. I tell you what. I mean, like you got Spencer and you got Jeter, who's like a legend there too. Now he's just a player, I think more. And actually, I think he might ref again
still
too. Yeah, he refs again too. Yeah. But
sometimes I took a shift the other day.
You took a shift. Okay, well, now you're reffing there. So I mean, like,
exactly.
lot changes and a lot stays the same at the same time. So that being said, so what's like just off the top of your head, like you won a bunch of championships with the winner or not the Winterhawks, the Warhawks.
Yep.
And
they're coming up on an anniversary season as well. I think 30 or 20 years, something like that. But we just like they started way back in the O's, like 06 or 05 or something, well before my time with them. But we just ordered really nice gold and black anniversary jerseys for this season, or it's 25th anniversary, I think. Yeah, 25th anniversary jerseys. So I'll be sporting that our next show for sure if I got him.
Beautiful. Well, what's a memory like, whether it's from them or just the atmosphere of the buildings, because they were great. I mean, we had the indoor and the outdoor rink. So what's some memories that stick out, or that you're just going to be? What are you going to miss? What are you going to miss the most? That's kind of
I mean, I made a rather long Facebook post about this because it did kind of hit the heart when I heard that the place was sold and they were getting rid of that facility because. I mean, Warhawks has been great there. I started Warhawks. I ran into the guy who runs the team and I said, hey, you guys need a player because they only had like 7 guys. And he said, well, my roster is actually pretty stocked, but if you want to join up, well, I think we got room. And he didn't even know me. And I played my first game and it was a 1-1 game. And we went to overtime and I scored the game winner in overtime. And the GM who had taken me on, he wasn't even there for it. But I remember him putting it in the group chat. He's like, who won? And the guy answered, we won in overtime 2-1. And he's like, sweet, who got it? And he's like, new guy, Eric. And I was like, and then he says, oh yeah, he's like, GM of the year right here. And then I don't think I scored another goal for that team for like maybe 7 games, but they're a really good team. They've been around there a long time. They play in a division that's called the Originals Division, which is all like sort of the original teams that started the place up. But the season before the summer that I took off that you guys won, I won with 3 different teams championships all in the same season, with Rebels and Warhawks, and there was another one I can't even remember. So that was a really good season for me. And like some of my other big memories are Bobby scoring that overtime goal for us on the outdoor rink with that big clapper from the point in that really, really tight game we were in.
Was that PJ? I think it was PJ. It was bar down. Are you thinking of PJ's goal or was it Bobby?
It was Bobby for sure. PJ had already left the team. Yeah. At that point.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Bob, I bring it up all the time to him because it was one of my favorite Bobby
That's
moments.
More recent then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bobby's been just so steady back there.
Yeah. I message PJ once in a while to see if he can come back, but he doesn't. I don't think he plays anymore. So
okay, that was one of the first memories I remember. It was an overtime game that, and I remember that team like it was cheating too. Like they had 2 goals on the board that they took off, and that was like the beginning stages of our Rink Rats era together. Was that PJ goal, and then you talked about creating memories, and then from there we created more. So
for sure, and I loved just to bring up as a one last thing was I started. Like I've coached adults before, but I never coached youth until I started over there, and I volunteered and I took on teams for about 6 seasons in a row. And then on the final season that I coached, we went like 12-0 in the regular season and swept the playoffs, no losses. Just a dominant team and so much heart. It was really nice to get that for some of those guys who I'd been coaching for a few seasons and hadn't done well. We definitely started out with some 0 seasons as well. And then we sort of got mediocre, and I kind of kept the same guys throughout the seasons. And then that last season was just fantastic. And a lot of those guys went on to play adult now, and I play with some of them on Rebels, and a few of them have played on Rink Rats. So it's been nice to see the tradition keep going. And I hope that they can coach one day and, pass that along, their experiences as well.
Yeah, it's a heck of a rink, a lot of memories, and that's why we are going to miss it. It really is too bad. And also Brian Broly, we should shout out him, passing away not that long ago, a guy that really is the reason that place was what it was.
Yeah, he built it for sure. Him and his son was involved for a while as well too.
Mike, yep.
Yeah, and there was a few people that we lost
Mike
playing there. McGowan.
Or McGowan, sorry.
McGowan, yeah. McGuire's still alive. Sorry,
jeez.
Yeah, McGowan passed away, and they named the other rink after him. So that's Mike McGowan Memorial Rink. And then I don't know if you ever met Eric Spies. But
I'm not sure if I met Eric or not.
Very small, like a smaller guy, super fast. One of the fastest players I ever played against in my life, and just like the nicest guy. Unfortunately, he passed away as well at a young age, and they named that Originals division after him. It's now called Division 22 because that was his number. And when he first passed away, the first game we played after, we allowed the ball to drop and then picked it up and had a moment of silence, let a minute run off the clock for him. And that was very emotional there, underneath the banners and stuff like that. It's really, really a place that I'm going to miss from the bottom of my heart. Just going to miss it so much. But, it moves on, time marches forward, and you play in new places. And,
Yeah, the game will always carry on. It's just like, there's an atmosphere created, right, in certain places. It's like, when Maple Leaf Gardens closed or when the Montreal Forum closed, it's like you're always going to have, like, even the Ice Dogs, like they're the old Jack, Niagara Falls Memorial Arena, like all my hockey memories are in there. Niagara Falls Thunder, all that stuff. So
the Thunder Arena, the old Thunder Arena downtown too.
I miss that place still.
Yeah, me too. And it's funny because now that the BAC is closed, they're utilizing other properties to finish out the seasons. And we're playing a lot at Hague Bowl, which is another place I grew up. It's a really cold barn growing up. You hated playing there because the boards were 6 feet off the ice. You drop down and you'd fall for a second and a half before you hit the ice if you tried to go over the boards. And then it's all chopped up there. And it's just, but I mean, a lot of memories for sure, like playing at Hague Bowl, and now we're still playing there. So
yeah, we are still there. Now I do want to mention this one last thing about the Warhawks Athletic Center. You guys played in the last game there.
Yep, final game. Yeah,
that to me just speaks to your dedication to ball hockey, and just the fact also that not only that, but the franchise himself, who we just spoke about, who scored the game-winning goal for the Rink Rats, Jay. You can see him pictured in the middle, right beside the championship trophy on the right.
Yeah,
that's the franchise Jay DePros, who scored the final goal at the Ball Hockey Athletic Center. Man, that is just storybook to me, based on all the clutch goals he scored.
And I'll tell you a little thing about just the heart of the Rink Rats. Okay, Jay, like we were losing that game bad. We were down like I think maybe 6-1 or something, or we were just getting destroyed, and so I'm like, this is the last game. Screw it. We're pulling our goalie with like 4 minutes left. Let's just see what we can do. Right. And so Cody pops one in, and I've started just rotating players through, like every guy that was on the bench. I don't care about the skill level. We're not trying to win the game. Just get in here and get a shift. Right. And so we get down to about a minute left, and I've got the ball in the zone, and I see Jay just sneak in back door there, and he's calling for it. He's doing his classic woo 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 woo. That's how he calls for the ball, right?
I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, I just thread a pass over to him, and he one times it right in the net, and like we celebrate, and it was great. And then, but after that, because our team wanted Jay to have that last goal so bad. They were still going for the empty net. They still wanted the last goal, right? So we were just killing ourselves to block shots and try to get the ball back, like to make sure that that goal was the last goal. And sure enough, it was. And then we took a picture with the other team. Actually, I should have sent that over to you to pull up there. But yeah, we took a picture with the other team and and the refs and the people that were working at the rink at the time, and just sort of, so that was our goodbye. That was our homage.
Yeah, well, good news about technology. I can pull that up, so just give me a moment, and I will.
No worries.
Because yeah, that's pretty neat that you guys took. I liked how you took the picture. I remember seeing it with the other team and yourselves. Like it put aside, being opponents and just made it solely about the game. So I am going to pull this image up momentarily, which actually it won't even take me long at all. So just for the people that are watching, especially if you're Niagara, if you're local and you're watching and you're a ball hockey player or just, involved somehow in the ball hockey community around here, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge that, because it was special. And in fact, here it is. So I'm going to pull it up here. This was the final game played at the Ball Hockey Athletic Center. And Eric, you are right
next to that guy's gut.
On the far right, you see him on one knee. Next to
next to our goalie there is Barnesy, and Spencer, the two refs fitting for the last game there. Although I'm on the wrong side, like the wrong team side, but whatever, I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, either way, it's just it's a special picture, and it's symbolic, right, of the last game that was there, and Jay scoring the last goal. Barnesy has to be in that picture. He's our. I mean, we shouldn't have favorite refs, but he kind of is one of my favorite refs. I can say he's my favorite. He's just so personable.
And he's fair. He's totally fair.
And he's totally fair. Totally fair.
He explains every call. He doesn't and he's been doing it forever. I mean, the guy was reffing me when I was 17. Yeah. I'm 38 now. So
there you go.
He just knows the game so well, and you can tell he has a passion for it. So.
Yeah, well, we went 22 and a half minutes on this. And I said we're going to do this show in half an hour. Special. Wow. That's going to be tough now. But that's okay, because the Ball Hockey Athletic Center does deserve it. So
it deserves it for sure.
Hats off to the Ball Hockey Athletic Center, truly. And also, I have to say one more thing about Brian Broly. I'm pretty sure I still owe him like $80 because I swear he paid for one of my seasons once. He just gave me cash out of his pocket because I don't even remember what the circumstance was, but I'm like, I just don't have the money right now. I don't even know how I ended up in his office, because you never really see Brian. He's more behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I ever paid him back. I don't think that I did. But Brian Broly, just,
stand up, dude.
Kudos to him and everything he was able to do, because the reason we have those memories is because of him and his family. So thank you for 100%. Everybody involved over there. So yeah, going into right into a few more subjects. We'll try our best to keep these tight here in the next little bit. But women win gold in Beijing, and just cementing their greatness, their legacy in women's hockey, and now it's growing even beyond that. We got the rivalry series happening March 12th. I think I saw the date. A rematch between Canada and the States with the women's game happening, and it's going to happen in PPG Arena in Pittsburgh, where the Pittsburgh Penguins play. So it's going to be hopefully a full barn, So
we should see if we can go down.
I would love to.
That's not that far away.
Now that the border stuff is, I don't know about the testing and all that stuff, but let's touch on the Olympics though, and just the women's game, and how that went, because they went undefeated, obviously, and there's all the banter about, does women's hockey belong in the Olympics, and just that whole stupid narrative. So
did you see that? Did you read that article that guy
I didn't even read it. I didn't even bother reading it, because I'm like, I mean, maybe I'm biased in that sense, but I didn't even bother reading it. I just listened and watched a bunch of content on it. But
it was a poor argument, very poor argument.
Yeah, and that says it all to me by you even saying that. So
I mean, it'd be like saying they shouldn't have men's hockey in the Olympics because Russia was so dominant from 1960 to 1980, winning every single season and destroying everybody. You need to have, a powerhouse team does not ruin the game for everybody. All it does is it forces other teams to up their game. And, you think those other teams that show up are thinking, well, what's the point of even playing because we don't have a chance at a medal with Canada and the USA there? No, they're thinking, we're going to be better this time than we were last time. And if by some miracle we manage to, beat one of these teams, it would be as good for them as winning a gold medal. You imagine if like Team Switzerland or something or Sweden or Finland beat out Team Canada, women's Team Canada in Olympic hockey. I mean, that would be like the 1980 Miracle on Ice. You know what I mean? Like it definitely belongs there. I think this particular Olympics, if you watch the skill level on display, you can't even argue that it belongs there. It was just such great hockey, and I'm hoping that they had, I think for that gold medal game, they had like almost 2 million viewers, which is
it was
great.
like 3.2.
Oh, so it was way over.
It was
that.
over 3. Yeah. It was actually over 3 million. Yep.
Yeah. So, and I mean, like for a women's hockey game, that's fantastic. Considering years ago, you wouldn't even have probably even broke 1 million. So I hope that this generates some momentum for them, and I'm really proud of them. I could say, honestly, even though we lost to USA last time around, women's Canadian hockey is a dynasty for sure. And I hope it leads to more leagues and more development. And I really hope that, some of those inspired women from around the world to join hockey and to, start training, like put your kids, even if you got a girl, especially if you have a girl, put her in hockey, start her out, because you never know where the next, Wayne Gretzky type player is going to come from. That's just going to change the game for women's hockey. And, all of a sudden, 4 years, 8 years, maybe you got a whole new generation. And, all of a sudden Finland and Sweden and those other European countries are going to start giving us a run for our money. The dynasty that is Canada and USA women's hockey right now is not going to last, and they better keep their game sharp because it's good. The other European teams are coming, and I'm excited for that. I hope it leads to a great league, and maybe even some international play like the NHL has always kind of wanted to do, have KHL teams versus NHL teams and stuff like that. It would be great if you imagine an international women's hockey league. Be fantastic. Play little series against other countries. Oh, I mean, the ideas are endless.
They are. And I think the women forming their union, the PWHPA, actually really helps to show encouraging signs of that, but maybe not necessarily for international yet. I think it's going to be more North America, where the league they're trying to create that and sustain that for women to be able to have more of a full-time gig playing hockey where they can earn a respectful income to the point where they can make a living. And we're seeing that really happen right now. Right. So
they should, because they work just as hard as the guys, I mean,
for sure. They just have more fun, I think.
Training every day, just the same as the guys. They have practices the same as the guys. They have everything the same, and they just not getting paid for it. It sucks. So yeah, I'm hoping
they deserve better.
Yeah, I hope it generates enough interest.
I think it will, and I think that that's the plan. I think that the plan is to follow through on it, and there's a lot of support for it. And like you mentioned, I mean, the whole point of Olympic hockey too, and it's an opportunity to inspire the next generation of players. I know, like I work on Habs Tonight with Dale Weiss. Like his kids are in hockey, his daughter's in hockey, so I'm already picturing like seeing Weiss on the back of a Team Canada jersey.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know if that's what she wants. I don't know his family that well and his kids that well yet, but like the fact that you see them out there and seeing what their dad accomplished and seeing what these women are accomplishing right now. I mean, it would be cool to see that, like to see the journey of somebody from that age to 15, 20 years from now, just, representing Team Canada. That'd be a beautiful thing. And I just hope the women genuinely get what they deserve and get that league rocking. And if there was a broadcasting gig I'd like to start with, I would love to cover women's hockey. I would absolutely love to.
Me too. I'd love that too.
So cheers to that.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. Good for them.
So yeah, absolutely. Let's jump into our last subject or two of the day, and that's the Leafs wings and high scoring games. As we know, the Leafs did pull out a showstopper the other night, 10-7 against the Detroit Red Wings, and you look like Steve Dangle on the live.
Man.
Stream. But what were your impressions of that game, and what's your opinion of high scoring games in general versus a low scoring game, Eric?
Yeah, I have to agree. Like, I agree with Steve, and if you're not a Leaf fan, you don't understand how damaged Leaf fans are. to start a period 7-2 and not be comfortable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at all. And then so I mean, there's no point in breaking down the game. Everybody knows what happened. And I think it's funny because I don't chalk this up to bad play from the Leafs or bad play from Detroit. What happens once or twice a season with a couple of teams in one game or another, and it's very rare that it's your team that does it. It's always something you see on SportsCenter. But after a while, like in some games, it seems like the players just stop listening to the coaches and decide they're going to play pond hockey. You know, they're having a scrimmage, basically. Nobody's caring too much about odd man rushes. Everybody's just sort of meandering around, seeing what the other guys are doing. And once it started to slip, and I saw that, Jack Campbell had let in a couple of, bad goals in a row, 3 bad goals in a row. And then all of a sudden Mrazek comes in and the first shot is a bad goal as well. And it's 7-6. And I'm like, oh, like any other team, any other fan base, they would be losing their minds. But as a Leaf fan, you're just like, well, yeah, this is what they do. You know what I mean? Like it. And then all of a sudden they score 3 other ones, and win 10-7. And you're like, yeah, that's sometimes what the Leafs do too. Sometimes they just decide they're going to win a game, and that's that. That being said, I would like to know, especially if you're watching this video, comment, let me know. Did you find that more enjoyable than, say, a 3-2 win where the checking is tight, the shots are more realistic, like around the, 25 to 30 mark? I like to see the plays. So like the bunting play to Marner, when Marner did that for him not too long ago, I go, yeah, that was cool. And, you see like the players showing off their skills is nice. Lots of goals. I liked it. I'd like to see the goals. However, it didn't get my heart pumping the way that a lower scoring tight game gets my heart pumping. So when my team's down 3-2 and they've got to pull their goalie to try to score to tie it, I find that far more exciting than this back and forth track meet of goals. So I think that if you look at this game and you watch it objectively, if I was the league, who seems to be always trying to stretch things out and try to get more goals in the game, I think you can easily see that a lacrosse style game isn't as exciting as a tight game. You want scoring. You don't want to take the skill out of the game. But I think that this game proved that we've pushed it far enough with opening up, avenues to score, making sure like even the little things like you can't change after an icing, the bigger offensive zones when they did that, taking out the 2-line pass, all those things that we did to open up the game. I think we've gone far enough, because I think when you look at this game, this 10-7 game, it's entertaining, but it's everybody I know was laughing at how ridiculous it was, and how and most of the chatter afterwards was, yeah, it was fun, but it's not hockey. This isn't the All-Star game. Hockey is a tight, tough game that it should be really difficult to score goals, but very possible, if that makes any sense. Trying to walk that fine line. I think they've made it, and they should leave it be, unless they unless goalies figure out some new way to stop every puck. Then you can change things, or guys get, like the crop of talent sort of falls off maybe or something. Then you can change it again. But I think where we're at right now, that 10-7 game kind of proved that we're good. We don't need to mess around with this game anymore, because that's not going to happen every night. Like most nights are going to be normal. So
yeah, and that's fair. Like I think once in a while it just happens all throughout the league, like it just the high scoring games. Now, one very important note though about this game is that the Leafs were fighting a stomach bug. So like like if you watch Dangle's post game LFR, I mean, like
I did, yeah.
These guys are literally like going to the bathroom like during the game. So like,
yeah,
this was just like, I don't even know if all their heads were like in it. Like, I don't know if guys were just fighting off that mental bug, but there was a bug going on, and like, I don't know. That's a factor though. You can't take that away
for sure. And it's hard to really put any analysis on it, because like if the Leafs were playing a better team,
thank God they won.
Yeah. Oh my God. Can you imagine if they lost? But I don't know. Like I said to Brian when they were starting to come back, or maybe it was Nolan, one of the two. I said, like, I kind of hope they lose, because if losing going into the third period up 7-2, if losing that hockey game doesn't wake you up to how you have to play come playoffs, nothing will. And it may work against them a little bit to say, hey, we blew a 7-2 lead, but we still won 10-7. I mean, that's how good we are. I don't think that that's a good mentality to have going into the stretch here. But at the same time, the Leafs have that kind of talent and they can get it done. But I don't want them to rely on that. I want them to be tougher for sure. If they had been playing a serious team, like, not that Detroit's not serious, they're getting much better and they're a really fun team to watch. But if they're playing Tampa there or Florida, or one of the heavier teams, that they lose that game hands down. Like the stomach bug would have got the better of them, and it might have been an easy excuse for them to say, "Oh yeah, we had this stomach bug." But it's a structure thing. If you're getting up, if you have that kind of lead, you should be able to hold it. And I get that the goaltending was a little lack. I know. Well, they did.
No, I mean, like, never mind.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you. Very coy.
They couldn't hold it in. Okay. Give them a break. No.
I mean, the main guys were okay. They weren't too bad. Like,
But that's going to lead into my final question for today's show. So the Leaf season trades goalies stuff. I put
yeah.
It's been a good season overall for them. You can't deny that. And Michael Bunting's just like a crazy revelation. I keep forgetting he's a rookie. Like, what?
Yeah, he might win the Calder.
Sense. Yeah, he might.
The way things are going,
he's up there for sure.
Playing with Matthews and Marner helps.
Doesn't hurt having those two as your line mates. Welcome to the NHL, Mr. Bunting. Mr. Bunting.
But nobody misses Hyman. Nobody misses Hyman.
Not seemingly, no. So
I loved Hyman on the boards. I loved him on the boards, but
yeah,
Bunting puts it away. What can you do?
Yeah, he does. He adds a different element, right? So, what do you make of what the Leafs, like? Everyone's calling for a defenseman. Do you think adding very much is going to help them through getting through the first playoff round? What do you think is going to help them get through the first playoff round? Them, as in their roster than what they have now, or do they really need much? Because we know Jake Muzzin should be back, but
maybe
no, he's expected to come back. Like that's what the projection is, that he'll be back before the end of the season, at least according to the reports. So if that's true, what do they need, whether it's on the ice or through transaction? What do they need?
Yeah, it's tough because, I would have said different things last week, and then I would have said even different things the week before. So it seems to continually change. I mean, on the ice, the team itself, they just need to overcome the demons. It's the we're good enough to win, but we play like we're expecting to lose mentality. That and like this, it's a mentality where it's like every time another team starts to claw their way back into a game or we start to lose, everybody goes, well, that figures. That's the Leafs. That's their luck. Anytime there's a bad bounce, oh, that's our luck. You know what I mean? Oh, we ran into this or that. So, yeah, I mean, mentally they need to slay their demons. As far as adding to the team, they got 15 days here or however many 20 days to the deadline, and I don't think they know. Because yes, I would have said defense. I mean, and everybody pretty much agrees that they could use another good shutdown defender. I think I've heard Luke Shen's name being kicked around. Former Leaf, probably wouldn't want to come back, but it's a shot. It's a shot if they can make a run. That kind of a player, just somebody to sort of shore up the defense. Justin Holl was not playing well defense, and I would have said that's the guy you should be shipping. But then he comes back last game against Washington last night and just has a phenomenal game. Scored a goal. He had an assist, a beautiful assist. He didn't look out of place the entire night. So it seems like every night it's a different person that's not doing what they need to do. I don't think they need scoring depth, but take a look at last night's game against Washington. Wilson and Hathaway just pushing around our team, taking runs at guys. Simmons can't stand up for them anymore. They just laugh at him whenever he comes on the rink. I was having this discussion with Brian. They're like, oh, those guys are running us. And so they send Simmons over the board, and Simmons takes a 45-second fourth line shift. They all skate around and laugh. And then he gets off the rink, and then they start running Matthews and Marner again. I think that they need to add a forward with some grit and some grind. And I will give Brian credit when Sam Bennett was available, he was just screaming that they should go for Sam Bennett. And I disagreed with him because I was like, why are we picking up Calgary's problem? But then look at how great he's been in Florida. He laid that huge hit the other night. He's feisty. He's in there all the time. If they're going to add anything on forward, it has to be that kind of a Tom Wilson, Sam Bennett, trying to think of some other Blake Coleman type player, somebody that's just super feisty rat out there. That's just great for the playoffs. And then in defense, they could use a right D. And then who knows with goaltending? I mean, Mrazek looked okay last night, but he still looks a little wild. Still some big rebounds. Does Campbell going to have his confidence come after the deadline? I don't know.
I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine in playoffs.
I think he'll be fine long term, but this year, it's been a tale of 2 years for him. He was great right up till the break there, where everything got shut down a little bit for Omicron, and then after that, he's been mediocre at best. So,
yeah, but it's also in front of him a little bit too. So I think if they tighten that up a little bit, and once he get into playoff mode, I think Jack will be fine. I think Jack thrives in the higher stake games. I think that's where he'll tighten up. I think he'll tighten up.
I hope you're right. I really do. But
based on the way I saw him play against Montreal, like I know we won that series, but Jack Campbell's numbers were right up there with Carey Price's. So
he
and
played
just
well.
The way he gave them confidence, you can see that he gave the Leafs confidence. Now, if they make the moves that they need to make to tighten things up for the final stretch and then getting into the playoffs, I think he'll be okay. But I agree with you on the forward aspect of things. Now, I know he's not nearly as skilled, maybe as Sam Bennett or the others that you've mentioned, but like a guy like Nicolas Deslauriers, like a guy who's maybe more of a fourth liner, but that guy can like he drops like there has not been better fights. I know I'm not a huge advocate on fighting anymore, but whenever there is a tilt and Nick Deslauriers is in it, like it goes for a while. It's a marathon of a fight. And also the guy can check he can check as good as anybody. You need a guy like that. I think Nick Deslauriers would be we had him in Montreal for a bit. He was in Buffalo. Now he's in Anaheim, but like a guy that just absolutely runs through walls for players. He's a guy that does that. And I think the Leafs would they would get such a spark from
I agree.
Like him.
Yeah, you need guys with heart like that for sure. And they tried to
and
do
if they
that
have to answer the bell,
year.
they will. If someone runs Matt, it's over. Like he's in there. He's got a left hook like you wouldn't believe.
Well,
so,
yeah.
I don't know.
Even last night in the Washington game, they manhandled Tavares out of the crease and then threw him behind the net. And I'm watching two Leaf players skate away from that. Like,
yeah.
And I know the mentality. I know the mentality is, we're not going to get drawn into this because we can still win this hockey game. It's only 3-3 and we can score a couple goals. And sure enough, they scored a couple goals and they win. But at what cost? I think it's better to send a message that, hey, we're not going to get pushed around. anymore. And I would have taken a
Yeah.
loss just to see Nylander or Marner throw a couple hits. They had guys lined up coming into the zone where they could have thrown just the simplest body check and the guy would have been on his butt. And they didn't do it. They just shied away. They quick stopped and turned away from it. And when the other teams see that, they lose. They don't respect you anymore, and they're going to take liberties with you. So I would like to see even the Stars pick up their hitting a little bit and their bump and grind and not shy away from that so much.
I think I would like
run our captain. People should know.
Yeah, I think you can get that out of Matthews because he has the size to do it. Nylander, it's not. Mitch is going to get ragdolled. I think Austin, being as big as he is, he's been better defensively. He's been better checking wise, like forechecking wise. I think even though he's not on the rink at the same time as JT,
yeah,
I think that you'll start to see that out of him. I think you should, because he has the size to actually back it up.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they should be taking 10 strides and trying to throw a 10 bell Cronwall hit. You know what I mean? Like, they're just not they're not those kind of players.
Yeah,
but
something, right?
The other team should know, all right, you want to step up the physical game? We can step up the physical game, but they don't do that. They're like, okay, you step up your physical game and we're just going to try and deke around you. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't,
And Jake Muzzin can do that a little bit too, if he's out there.
He can, but he never does.
Yeah.
He hasn't done it since his first season with the Leafs.
if he has a mismatch, he'll do it.
I can't even remember the last time he was really overly physical.
Yeah, he did that to, like, when the bubble season started in 2020 against Montreal, the first little exhibition game they had. He did that to what was it? One of the Montreal's Laval guys. Like, he just laid him out. Like, it was just a clean, great hit.
I think I remember that. Yeah,
it was. What's his name? I can't remember off the top of my head right now. He's in Laval still right now, and his name's escaping me. But anyway, the point being, though, I think that if you have a Nick Delorier in the lineup, like, you know why? Is because I have Sportsnet subscribed to my YouTube channel, or I subscribed to their YouTube channel, and like, I constantly see Delorier showing up in the fights. But I've seen him as a player, and like, he can be a depth scorer, kind of like how
I've watched him too. Yeah.
So I don't think the defense is all they need. I'm with you on that, and they just have to have somebody there that can kind of like keep the respect of the team in check, and then the other guys have to do the same. Like, you have to have Matthews, you have to have whoever it is. I don't care if it's Pierre Engvall. Like, he's got you wrap your neck around the guy. He's the giraffe.
There has to be a full team response when that kind of stuff happens. When it starts to go that way, the whole team has to be passionately into it.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as making moves and stuff, I don't envy Kyle Dubas because now with Muzzin out, and if Muzzin's going to stay out right till game 1 of the playoffs, he's got $5 million in cap to work with, and he has no idea what he needs. So I suppose we'll find out in the next couple of weeks. I'm excited to see it come up. Who knows? Maybe he'll just stand pat and say, you know what? I've added every year. I'm not giving away a first round pick or anything this year. So you go with what you got.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe call up Josh Hosang. I don't know.
Like, still needs a contract to play.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Robertson was been up the last 2 games. He looked great. Robertson was all over the rink last night. If he wasn't playing, like, Spets is good, but if he wasn't playing on that fourth line,
there's a guy
he could
back
really
him up.
Some damage.
Somebody back Jason Spets up, because he'll do anything for your team. You know what I mean? You need more Jason Spetses. My gosh.
I can't believe how much I hated him when he was in Ottawa. And now he's like, I have the biggest man crush on Jason Spezza. You have no idea.
Oh man, we stayed across the hall from him once in Montreal when he was on Ottawa. Yeah, and like, he was out till 5 a.m. It was funny. And then my buddy took his towel and then kept it for like 8 years.
Nice.
I'm not even kidding. It was moldy. It was disgusting. But that's a story for another time.
Spezza's sweat on it.
Spezza's towel. And he was like chirping him. This is all I'll say about that story. He was chirping Spezza in my brother's hotel room across the hall while we were getting ready to like just go to dinner or something. And then he melts when we get outside and Spezza's standing there. He's like, "Oh, can I have your autograph?" Like,
did he know it was him that was chirping him?
I don't think Spetz heard, but like, it was just hilarious. Like, just in 2 seconds.
That's amazing.
He just happens to be across the hall.
I can't believe I never heard that story from you before.
I know.
That's
Can't.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's such a legendary story with our family because Mike is like neighbors with my parents now, and he's a huge Montreal fan. So we've had some great times with him over the years. But that one is like the OG of stories for like just something only he would do by taking his towel and keeping it for 10 years.
That's awesome.
Well, there it is. So it's good to catch up and do another show. So we'll be back at it sooner than later this time for sure. But
yeah,
I just want to say. Yeah, I just want to say thanks for watching, folks. This is, of course, on the Drew Deeks channel. This is the Deeks and Vaca show, our full-length podcast form, show that we're doing on this channel amongst my other Habs videos that a lot of you watch. So if you've made it to the end here, just want to say thank you for checking it out. Hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, my good man.
Great to be here again.
Pleasure. One of my favorite hockey people to talk with in the world, Eric Vaca. So that's why this show is here. So awesome. We'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.